First of all, this is really emotional for me. I met my children's dad here 18 years ago. He died 8 years ago, and on the anniversary of his death this year, I took my oldest daughter, Kelly, and we just kind of walked around so that they could feel the spirit, part of who we were way back then. We just loved Cambridgeport. I would love to live in Cambridgeport, and of course I can't. Right now I live in one of Jay Shockett's buildings, and we all know I won't be able to live there very much longer. In about 2 years I'm going to have to move out. I would love to live in Cambridgeport, but I feel like I'm going to have to go to Everett or someplace. I don't know what else to say, except that these are all children. We brought her home from the hospital almost 18 years ago at 56 Blanche Street. And, I don't know. You want to say anything about it?
I'd like to say that I realize that the street's not looking too good today. But when we moved in here 18 years ago, I thought this place was a palace. I mean, we moved off the streets. I came here to have a baby. This was a home. It was a real loving community. There were people here that helped us, that took care of us. They paid our damn rent when we were starving to death. And even though it looks bad now, we need communities like this. We need places where the rent isn't real high. And I don't live in Boston anymore, but I bring my children here. I bring my children to Blanche Street all the way from New Hampshire to show them, these are your roots, you know? And I'd hate to see it gone. I just hate to see it gone. That's why I came from New Hampshire today. Thanks.
Speaker is a member of the Simplex Steering Committee and a resident of Cambridgeport, and she has just returned from a conference in Washington, New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey, called Housing Options for Women's Conference, and it was sponsored by the National Congress of Neighborhood Women, and she's going to be bringing greetings from that conference. Thank you.
300 women from a rainbow of backgrounds met over Columbus Day weekend in Camden, New Jersey to promote greater housing options for women. Here are a few tiny bites from a truly sumptuous banquet. The United Nations has designated 1987 as the International Year of Shelter for the Homeless. A United Nations representative from Sweden, Ingrid Monroe, widened our perspective with the following facts. There are 1,200 million people in the third world today who are homeless. There is an equal number, 1,200 million people homeless in the so-called first world today. Most of the millions of homeless people in the world are women and children. The average woman in India, for example, has 8.1 children. In the Philippines, homeless women eat, sleep, work, and give birth in the streets. For 2 months of every year, they have to endure tropical rainstorms without shelter. Women from Jamaica, Louisiana, and Appalachia today are rehabbing public housing projects to meet their needs. They are forming community land trusts and credit unions. They are brokering affordable, cooperative housing units for rent and for sale. On the last morning of the conference, I had the honor of sitting beside a Puebla Indian woman named Vicky. Vicky is from New Mexico. She is spearheading a project to restore her community's traditional adobe homes. 2 decades ago, the Bureau of Indian Affairs persuaded her people to abandon their adobe homes. With Vicki's leadership, they have decided to reclaim them. Women are powerful. Women are going to make the difference in our struggle for reasonable, diverse neighborhood development. Last Saturday afternoon, Dorothy Stoneman from East Harlem, New York, exclaimed, "It's time to change the meaning of women's homemaking role. In the past, homemaking has too often meant making beds. In the present and the future, women are changing that. Instead of making beds, we're going to make houses. Let's do it."